Welcome to the CEO Challenge.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Zoe's Treasures. My name's Tracy, and as always, here with my husband, Noel. He's over there doing our graphics. Y'all, thank you so much for coming in here. We are waiting for the final raid of the night coming over from, who was the last one? It is Miss Jen Hen is on right now. So we are waiting for Miss Jen Hen to raid over, and we are going to close out our second CEO Challenge showcase for tonight. I hope you guys have been on it. I do see some names that I recognize from the other shows, so thank you so much. Hello, Auntie Barbie. She's getting ready, so she'll be right over. As soon as they get here, we're going to run the giveaway. We're going to wrap up. I'm going to talk just a little bit about the sellers tonight. I do have some stuff in the bin, a couple of flash sales if you're interested while I'm chit-chatting here. And then we're going to go find somebody to raid. But hang on, because I really want you guys to hear about each and every one of the sellers. So now that we're in the second week of this challenge, I've been able to take some notes and kind of like just give a little bit of feedback. Of course, it's all positive on the selling and the things we saw. So I want to talk about that. And I want to address some of the challenge that they did this week. If you guys are at home and you want to take part in this challenge and you just want to do it at home, send me a message. We will give you access to a Dropbox that we put in the weekly challenge every Tuesday so you can participate at home. And then we are going to be doing episode 2 or season 2 of the challenge in a couple of months. Miss Jen Hen, thank you so much for coming over. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you guys so much for hanging out on the CEO Challenge Showcase Raid Train. Reality TV of the night. It has been an amazing night, you guys. I, again, am constantly blown away on the willingness of these 6 participants to open up their businesses and their hearts to you and just really let you see what they're struggling with, what their successes are, and just how things are going in their business. I'm so honored to be a part of it and to be able to share in this with them. One of the main challenge this week, they're kind of mixed up there, a couple of the challenges, but was to maintain your, hold on, let me get this right. Track your cost of goods, know what your cost of goods is, and then eliminate any reactive price dropping. So we're going to stand strong in our pricing. We're going to stand strong in our strategies. They had to be aware of what emotional challenges they had this week. So and each one of them talked about a different emotional challenge and how do we overcome that as sellers when it's affecting our shows. You know, we have to come on here no matter what's happening, put a smile on our face and be happy and be great, right? Sometimes we can show a little bit of what's happening, but that really affects the emotions affect our selling. So we need to be able to understand how to recognize that and then how to handle it. So they each had different stories and they were all great about how they reacted to things that happened to them this week. And they had to maintain their margin integrity. They had to really know what their cost of goods was, what they could sell it for, when they could discount, when they couldn't, to make sure that they're maintaining that profit for themselves. Because after all, this whole challenge is about building your business, which at the end of the day is about making money. So let's go through the sellers really quick. I'm going to get a giveaway started, and hopefully I'm only going to talk for 5 minutes till the giveaway runs out, and then we will go find somebody to raid. So tonight's giveaway is a whole deck of our CEO affirmation cards. So you are going to get a sealed deck of CEO affirmation cards, and in the deck comes 2 surprises for you. So wrapped up in there, that is what our giveaway is tonight. Normally when we do giveaways, we only do 1 card at a time. So you're getting all 52 of those cards. That is our giveaway. So go ahead and jump in there. Let's talk about this challenge. You know what? We heard from Zach on Forgotten Memories and he summed it up so well. I didn't purposely talk about this, but I knew it would be evident throughout the evening tonight. It's hard to talk and sell. Isn't it hard to talk and sell at the same time? And I'm not talking about the product. Anybody can hold a product up and talk about it, but to keep engaged with your chat, to tell a story, to talk about something else while you're selling, that's a challenge in itself, and one that we have to master to some degree, because while we're selling, we have to be watching that chat, and it's hard on limited time. Yeah, especially when you only have that 15 minutes and you're like, oh, I really got to do this quick, right? So that in itself is a challenge to overcome, on being able to monitor your chat and keep talking, or maybe talk about something that was happening during the week, that you were experiencing while you're still trying to sell a product. So that I was very impressed impressed. Everybody did it very well, but it was challenging, and I do recognize the fact that it was not an easy task tonight. Walking and chewing gum, exactly. You think they're two simple things on their own, but when you got to do them together, it's difficult. I want to go through each seller really quick. We've got about 3 to 4 minutes here. Mel and Stella kicked us off tonight, and I have to say, you explained your pricing value so well. I was super impressed with your companion sets. You talk about how difficult it is to find those two cards that go together. You express the value without having to say, hey, these are really expensive cards. Like it was very evident in the how you explained how hard they are to find. And recognizing your repeat buyer. I know that's a metric you're working on, and that was so great to see. It's like, hey, you're a repeat buyer. Thank you so much. So I just love to see that. I thought that was really awesome. And that's something we can all do. We can all learn from that when we see our repeat buyers. Your repeat buyer base, that's what's going to sustain your business in hard times. So really, while we want new buyers and we want to be kind and welcoming, we do have to take care of our core base too. That is vital in our businesses. Forgotten Memories came next. And so Zach didn't have a whole lot of pricing difficulty on the dollar starts because it's a dollar start. It's easy to stand firm when you're doing dollar starts. However, dollar starts in itself can bring up the question particularly when it's not going good and things are getting bid up, can make you as a seller be like, did I make the right decision? Is dollar starts really the right thing? So while it's easy to say, oh, I have dollar starts, sometimes it's hard to stand in that show after show after show, particularly if things aren't getting bid up. But you did great tonight. Your stuff was getting bid up just really great. So that was just like a pricing thing I wanted to comment on because I recognize the difficulty in that. I want to give you a compliment on your, what did you call it? The bust battle. That is amazing. And somebody, I forget who, I've got another note. This Friday in my talk show, I'm going to be talking about a unique thing we're going to be talking about creating momentum in your shows. And one of the things about creating momentum is having something that's yours. What are you doing that's different than anybody else? And that bust battle was something I've never seen before. I love the idea. I love the creativity behind it and the uniqueness in it. So that was really cool. I also wanted to comment on, you said that you don't follow trends, but you follow your trending items. How important is this? It's not important that we follow what everybody else is doing, but that we're able to recognize the trends our customers want. What is our customers buying so we can continue to deliver that? So that was really cool. After Forgotten Memories was On Second Thought. I mean, all of these sellers blow me away. But On Second Thought, what did I write down here? Let's see. I loved how when you were showing your items, you were giving decorating tips with it. You were verbally bringing visions to buyers' heads on how they can use your items in their home. You were helping them see how, like, hey, you can buy this and I can put it over. You can do this with it or you can do that with it. What a great way to add value into your pricing without saying, hey, this is a really expensive item. It's check out this gorgeous item and you know what else you can do with it. So I really loved that. Michelle Retrofit, congratulations. You got the Death of CEO affirmation cards that is coming to you. All right. So that was really cool. And then I know you're working on your engagement. I thought your engagement was really, really good. I really thought your eye contact, the conversations you were having, I'm not sure if that, I mean, if you've only been working on that a week, I'd be surprised. I thought it was really great. So congratulations on that. After, the next person we went and saw was Lori Can Shop. And Lori Can Shop, I have a couple of, just some really cool things. One, theme shows. Absolutely. I'm on board with them all the way. I like how you know your product enough that you can say, you know what, theme shows are what's going to work. And then you know what I really liked, and probably because I'm partial to M&Ms, again, this is a unique thing. This is a you thing. This is what you're doing that's different, is eating an M&M and then giving a person a choice every time there's a first buyer. One, I would probably gain like 1,000,000 pounds because I can't eat just one M&M. So I totally admire your willpower there. But I love that it's that twist. It's the uniqueness. It's what's yours. We're going to talk about Friday on having having like repeatable moments and having structure, having something like that you do for every first time buyer, every raid, whatever it may be, is part of your structure, part of your strategy, part of what makes you unique and keeps people coming back. So I thought that was really great. And of course, your vibe is just amazing. Hibiscus House, well, it came up next. I know you were nervous, and I know you think that you may be an introvert, but you have storytelling in you. It is there. It was clear as day. I could see the storytelling just waiting to come out. So, and I'm not doing any criticisms here, but oh, there's like a fly. Okay, sorry. It was like right here in front of my face. I see the storytelling. Get over it. Once you just get past that nervousness, it is there. Talk about your travels. Tie your travels to your pieces. Like, you have some natural storytelling ability. Anybody else agree with me? You guys were in a Hibiscus House show. Put something in the chat if you really could see that storytelling vibe was coming out there. And your setup, my husband, she does. My husband kept saying, look at her setup. I love her background. Look at her setup. So if you can make my husband be like all oohing and ahhing over antiques in the back, I'm super impressed. You really did have a beautiful backdrop. And finally, at the end of the night was Miss Jen-Hen. You know, Miss Jen-Hen, you are just a natural. You're so personable. You're like, I really feel like I'm just hanging out with you, having a cup of coffee in your show. It's just this, you're calm on camera. You just have this really good smoothness about you. And I thought that was amazing. And then the other thing I really noticed about your shows was, even though like the camera's like right here, you can tell you're running on the phone, you are holding those items up high over the chat. It was very good. That camera angle with how you were holding the items, that is not an easy skill for a lot of people. You guys, watch some of the shows. How many times do you see stuff down here and the chat's covering it and you're like, and you got to swipe the chat away just to see what you want to look at. So you've really mastered that, and that's a hard skill to get. So congratulations on that, because that is something that people can be on here for years and still don't master. So that was all of our sellers tonight. They all did wonderful. Again, a whole group of unique sellers. It was such a good challenge tonight. I've already dropped in their folders so they know what's coming up for week 3. If you're following along at home, you already have access to week 3. So we're going to be working on some totally different stuff next week. We're going to be working on structure for the business and systems for the business and our openings. And so we're going to have some of the talking skills, some of the welcoming skills. Yes, it's Southern Charm. Everybody did do so good. And we're going to be working on structure. So that is next week. Next week's show is also a selling show. So y'all just got to save up your money, take them budgets off of whatnot, and be ready to come do some shopping next week, because every single one of these sellers had really amazing items. Yes, everybody needs an opening. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow. We always do. For the participants, we do have a short meeting every Wednesday night where we discuss the challenge. And again, if you want to follow along at home, send me a DM and we'll get you hooked up in that Dropbox so that you can follow along. With that, we're going to close out, because this show isn't about me, and for me to be on here, it is about our participants. So let's go ahead and go raid somebody. We will see you all very soon. Let's see who, you know what? We're going to go see, let's go see Ingalon. We haven't seen Inga in quite a while. And she's doing vintage decor. Bye, everybody.